65% of senior finance leaders agree that the volume and complexity of corporate risks have increased over the last 5 years. In regard to business, risk plays in the game as both an internal and external factor. Risk is an important calculation in keeping a company alive and well. Knowing how to navigate risks can lead to great payoffs. The tool I will be talking about today does exactly that. Project and/or risk managers, if you know, you know. If you don't, that's okay. Keep watching to understand what a risk register is and some elements you can expect to see in a risk register. This also serves as an outline as to how to structure your own. A risk register does 3 main things. It identifies a potential risk, analyzes that risk, and then provides solutions for those risks if they were to arise. Risk registers are commonly placed in spreadsheets or risk management software systems. The nice thing about risk registers is that the same template works for different projects. Depending on the severity of the project, some of these elements may be short and sweet, while others can turn out to be more extensive. The important thing to point out is that whatever works best for project managers, as well as their team, is what will ultimately work best. There are a few things each risk register should have in order to be an effective tool. 1. Identify the risk. In this area of the risk register, the risk name and identification number will be here. You have to put a name to the risk in order to identify it. Some other information that will be beneficial is a short summary or description giving more information about what the risk is. The identification date will help to monitor how much time it is taking to mitigate the risk. 2. Describe the risk. Once you've identified the risk, next is the risk description. Similar to the summary, this will go over the main takeaways and why it's necessary to log the risk. The average length of a risk description is around 80 to 100 characters, so this is quite short and just a general description of the risk. It just gives you a bit more depth into the situation than the risk identification. 3. Categorize the risk. If you thought we couldn't get any more organized, well, here we are. There are all sorts of ways that you can categorize risks. This will help your team quickly identify the potential risks at hand. It also makes it easy to assign tasks to team members. This way they know what they're looking for. Some examples of ways that you can categorize these risks are by budget, schedule, technology, information, security, or quality. 4. Risk probability. After taking some time to assess the risks, this is the part where you rate the likelihood of the risk happening. You can categorize them using numbers. Doing this can help you identify a priority. 5. Analyze risk. Analyzing risk is different from the previous step that we just went over. The analysis is looking at the potential threat that the risk could have on your project. This will also help you identify the most important risks to tackle. You can analyze risk using a 5-point scale, such as very low, low, medium, high, and very high. I hope this gave you a better understanding of what risk registers are and how they work. While risk registers are mainly used by project managers and their team, anyone can use them for any project, both big and small. Once you create your golden template, you can just run with it and plant the template into new projects. As risk becomes more apparent in the business world and society in general, it doesn't hurt to add this efficient tool to your lineup. Not only will you see benefits in project progression, but communication and teamwork will follow. If you'd like to learn more about risk registers, reach out to eTactics, and you already made it this far into the video, you might as well like it, share it, and comment below.